The two qualities of a guru, Shrotriya and Brahmanishtha. In English, you can say enlightened or self-realized. The word is very suggestive. It's a self-realized. That means he did not achieve anything else. He realized himself or herself. There is no him or her after that. Self doesn't have him or her. So you just saw what you are, that's all. That itself has become a big achievement. So that person is someone who has done it is named as Brahmanishta. But then they have given one more. Shrotriya. Shrotriya means one who is well versed in the previous works. Today we say scriptures. Scripture means the work of the previous masters, the work of the previous people who saw the same thing. Now this, to be a Shrotriya is not a necessity for that person, for a person who has realized himself. For him it is not, he does not have to go through the scriptures, he does not need to know them. Because everyone realizes the same thing. It is not that you realize something and then you see the works of the previous masters and you see something new there. It is not that. Then why that has been prescribed as the quality of a guru? Now here you have to make a distinction between an enlightened man and a guru. All enlightened people do not become gurus. They don't become gurus. Just because they saw it, that doesn't mean that they have to become teachers to others. Many people don't become gurus. In Mahabharata there is one famous story, I don't know if you have come across that, story where they show a housewife, an enlightened housewife. She is not a guru. She is just doing her work. Just by doing household activities, she realized herself. So, there are any number of enlightened people and there are any number of people who reached it through various ways, sometimes apparently accidentally also. Now that does not mean that they have to become gurus. All of them do not become guru. Guru means somebody who has to lead somebody else. So you have to differentiate between an enlightened man and a guru, enlightened person and a guru. Now the second thing is, even if they become guru, even if some enlightened person has become a guru, even there, knowing the scriptures is not a necessity. For example, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He was an illiterate man. Do you know? He was illiterate. He had not read anything. He doesn't know any scripture. Simply illiterate, but an intense devotee, and he realized it. He realized reality. Now, all the educated people like Vivekananda was already some bachelor, he was graduate or something. In that time, in 1860s, 1870s, becoming a graduate means something huge. And he was an educated man at that time, Vivekananda, Narendra. And he became a disciple of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Ramakrishna, he had many other disciples. And all the people were all educated people. All his disciples were educated. And their master was illiterate. No scriptural knowledge. No Shrotriyatva. So you will find sometimes even gurus without that quality. Shrotriyatva you will not find always. But then why is it given is, it is prescribed as one of the characteristics of a guru for the sake of the student. For the sake of the student, it is better if the guru knows the work of the previous masters. So when a guru starts speaking, starts giving some advice on these fundamental matters, as a support for that, as a reinforcement for that, if some previous works are cited, it was told by that master also, this master also, the same thing was done at an earlier time, and it yielded result, the same thing was followed. If you give some reinforcement to that, the student will get some conviction. So it is dependent on the quality of the student. If the student is fickle-minded, that Shrotriyatva will come in handy. The Shrotriyatva of the Guru will come in handy. If the student is evolved, if the student has some discriminating capacity, then he will not look for that certification. How much does the Guru know? What scriptures does he know? You will not ask for it. You will see what the Guru is speaking, it will look meaningful to you. The thing that he is himself saying will look meaningful to you. You will not ask for secondary authority. On what basis he is saying, you won't ask that if you are a little evolved. But since for most of the people it is not true, most of the people cannot discriminate that sharply, you need a simpler characteristic to begin with. Shrotriyatva will come in handy there. So it is not for the sake of the Guru that they have to learn the scriptures, it is for the sake of the students. There is a story that if there is a very, very, very precious stone, the value of that stone cannot be evaluated by everybody. The stone may not be looking precious. Some stones, they don't look so beautiful, but they'll be precious stones. You may be holding it, it may cost 1 crore rupees, but you may not know its value. You may simply throw it. So to know the value of the precious stone, you need some eligibility first. And all the students don't have that eligibility. In the beginning, when the student comes into this path, that eligibility will not be there. They will not know how to decide also. How to decide who is correct, who is not. There will be terrible confusion. In that state, you need some benchmark to begin with. That is where scriptures will come in handy. Otherwise, if there is an enlightened mind in front of you, scriptures are of no use. Yavan artha udapane sarvata samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah. If there is an enlightened man, for him scriptures are useless in the same way as a well becomes useless when the entire city is submerged in water. When the entire place is submerged in water, will you look for a well? The well itself will be submerged in the water. The well loses its meaning. Well is no more a well. The entire place is in water. Similarly, when a person is enlightened, Brahmana, he uses the word Brahmana there, it does not mean a caste. Brahmana means the same thing, Brahmanishtha. So when there is a Brahmana, one who has seen the reality himself, for him, Veda means scriptures, are of no use. For him it is of no use. So it is not for the sake of the Guru that they have to learn the scriptures, it is for the sake of the students. Therefore scriptures are important, because it is a weakness of the human mind. You need to know how old it is, how many thousands of years old it is. If the more ancient it is, better it is. Yes? If I say it is 10,000 years old, you will listen, yeah, okay. If I say it is 10 years old, no, not correct. And for that attitude also, they had written a Subhashita. In Sanskrit, they write Subhashitas. Meaning sayings, wise sayings, Subhashitas. There is a Subhashita which says, just because something is old, don't say that it is genuine. Just because something is new, don't brush it aside. There is Subhashita like that. So don't go by this. In India especially it exists, because in India and China also it may be there in these eastern countries. Since these countries are ancient countries, we like everything to be ancient. They are ancient, okay, because since the country is ancient, in ancient times also they realize the same reality. It's not something new. If somebody realizes that reality today, that also is the same reality. The reality was not different 5,000 years ago or now. But if someone says that, you won't believe. You will say, no, only if Krishna told, I will believe. Why? Krishna is dead long ago, therefore I will believe. If Krishna was in front of you now, you won't believe him. If Krishna was your contemporary, you won't listen to him. So whoever is your contemporary, you won't listen. So therefore, scriptures will come in handy. Now don't take it in the opposite extreme. I am not belittling the scriptures. There is a place for that. So in the beginning, when a student is terribly confused, you need a benchmark and you need to go through the scriptures. And after some time, they will become support for you. They will not become the primary source. To begin with, you will have tremendous dependency on the books. Meaning your pocket will be empty and everything will be coming from outside. After some time it will start reversing slightly. Something will coming from within you, and something will come from books. So that percentage will gradually increase. What is coming out from you will increase. What you will take from the books will reduce, because you will see that whatever you are realizing on your own, the same thing is being written there by somebody else. So these are the two qualities of a guru.